Welcome back to our series on the Dead Sea Scrolls. In the first two episodes, we explored the history of this amazing discovery and the rich contents of the scrolls. Today, we're witnessing a true technological revolution, how artificial intelligence is revolutionizing our understanding of these 2,000-year-old documents, and how the latest discoveries continue to rock the academic world. It's the perfect marriage of ancient wisdom and modern technology. The vast majority of the Dead Sea Scrolls exist as thousands of tiny, fragile fragments rather than complete scrolls. This fragmented state requires extremely meticulous and often imperfect deduction and analysis to reconstruct the original text. The inherent fragility of the scrolls, due primarily to their organic material, 80% leather/parchment, 20% papyrus, made them extremely fragile after being removed from the stable, dry environment of the Judean desert caves. In the early decades following their discovery, a lack of professional conservation expertise led to irreversible damage. An alarming fact is that the first scrolls suffered more damage in a few decades than they had in thousands of years of solitude due to these early well-intentioned but ultimately harmful conservation attempts. Early scholars often mishandled the scrolls, using tape to connect fragments and placing them loosely between window panes. Recognizing the damage caused by early mishandling and exposure to dramatic climate change, the Israel Antiquities Authority implemented a strict care protocol. In 1991, with the assistance of experts from institutions such as the Getty Conservation Institute, they established a unique conservation laboratory and storage facility dedicated entirely to the scrolls. A key principle guiding the current conservation approach is reversibility, ensuring that any intervention can be undone to prevent further unintentional damage. The facility incorporates a sophisticated climate control system designed to simulate the stable humidity and temperature conditions of the Judean desert caves, which have naturally preserved the manuscripts for 2 millennia. Conservators trained specifically for the project meticulously record the condition of every fragment, no matter how minute, photographing and mapping each one, and entering the details into the Israel Antiquities Authority database. The main scroll exhibition space, the Israel Museum's Shrine of the Book, was built in 1965 and underwent major restoration and renovation between 2004 and 2005 to optimize display conditions, enhance security, and upgrade conservation techniques. The launch of the Leon Levy Dead Sea Scrolls Digital Library in 2015 marked a major advance in accessibility. This free online virtual library provides global access to hundreds of manuscripts, containing thousands of fragments through high-resolution, detailed digital images. The project, supported by the Leon Levy Foundation and the Arcadia Fund, involves a collaboration between the Israel Antiquities Authority and Google to develop advanced imaging and web technologies. This initiative directly addresses the historical problems of slow publication and limited access that have plagued early scroll research. The most significant development in 2025 is the Enoch AI model developed by an international research team led by the University of Groningen in the Netherlands. This groundbreaking, interdisciplinary system combines traditional radiocarbon dating, C14, paleographic analysis, and artificial intelligence to produce more accurate and empirical age estimates for individual manuscripts. Named after a biblical figure associated with wisdom and scientific knowledge, the Enoch system represents a paradigm shift in the dating of ancient texts. Its revolutionary approach combines traditional subjective paleographic analysis with an objective scientific approach. Enoch's methodology contains several key steps. The first is pretreatment and radiocarbon dating. The researchers first meticulously cleaned 30 parchment samples from various scrolls to remove contaminants such as castor oil applied in the 1950s, which was used to enhance readability but could distort C14 results. 27 of these were successfully radiocarbon dated, providing reliable empirical time markers. Next came AI training, high-resolution digital images of ink from 24 of these securely dated scrolls, focusing on microscopic features such as curvature and character shape, were fed into the Enoch AI model. The AI was trained to learn paleographic features that correlated with specific C14 dates. Finally, there was validation and prediction. The model was validated using additional images from the same manuscripts, and then applied to analyze the text of 135 undated scrolls. Enoch could estimate radiocarbon-based dates for manuscripts with a margin of error of about 30 years, outperforming traditional radiocarbon dating for the period between 350 BC. Enoch's initial results were groundbreaking. Many of the Dead Sea Scrolls turned out to be much older than previously thought, some by 50 to 150 years. This discovery has far-reaching implications for our understanding of the chronology of the Second Temple period. The study found that two previously thought distinct writing styles, Hasmonean and Herodian, actually coexisted for much longer than historians believed, with the Herodian appearing as early as the 2nd century BC, and the Hasmonean dating back to the late 3rd century BC. Most strikingly, for the first time, two biblical scroll fragments, 4Q Danielk, 4Q 114, and 4Q Koheleta, for Q109, Ecclesiastes, have been dated to the lives of their putative authors. For example, for Q114, which contains part of the Book of Daniel, was dated by Enoch to between 230 and 160 BC, which overlaps with the period when most scholars believe Daniel was composed during the Hasmonean Revolt. This suggests an earlier textual tradition than previously assumed, potentially affecting understandings of the process of biblical composition and canonization. The new estimated dates suggest that most of the manuscripts found in the caves near Qumran would not have been written at the Qumran site itself, as it was not occupied until later. This observation suggests that the caves may have served as a repository for texts from a wider geographic area, complicating understandings of the Qumran community and its direct authorship of all the scrolls. 2021 marks another watershed moment, the first discovery of new Dead Sea Scroll fragments in 60 years. More than 80 parchment fragments were unearthed in the Cave of Terror at Nahal Hefer, about 40 kilometers south of Jerusalem, containing Greek translations of biblical texts from the books of Zechariah and Nahum, dating from around the 1st century AD. Uniquely, the name of God appears in ancient Hebrew script in the Greek text, demonstrating the reverence with which the ancient scribes held the divine name. This discovery not only expands our understanding of documentary practices during this period, but also proves that there are still more treasures to be discovered in the Dead Sea region. DNA analysis has revolutionized the study of fragments. A groundbreaking 2020 Tel Aviv University study extracted ancient DNA from animal hides, revealing that most of the scrolls were made of sheepskin, while cow hides indicated different geographical origins. This DNA fingerprinting allowed the fragments to be matched to the same animal and revealed that two Jeremiah fragments previously thought to be related actually represent different textual traditions, challenging assumptions about the unity of the text. The impact of DNA analysis is manifold. It allows scientists to reconstruct fragments that belong to the same animal hide, providing physical evidence for text reconstruction, determine the geographic origin of the scroll, revealing whether the text was made locally at Qumran or brought from elsewhere, and understand ancient scribal practices, including preferred animal hide types and treatment methods. Advanced materials analysis techniques, such as multispectral imaging, are used to reveal layers of faded ink invisible to the naked eye, recovering previously inaccessible information. Adapted from NASA planetary probes, these techniques utilize liquid crystal tunable filters and hyperspectral imaging systems. These tools capture 58 different spectral images of each fragment, enabling non-invasive monitoring of scroll degradation and revealing faded text. The technology serves a dual purpose: conservation monitoring and text restoration, making previously unreadable passages readable for the first time in centuries. The field faces its biggest authentication crisis since its discovery, with the 2020 revelation that all 16 of the Museum of the Bible's Dead Sea Scroll fragments are sophisticated modern forgeries. Advanced scientific analysis revealed pools of ink and cracks in the leather that would not have existed when the material was new, exposing a systematic forgery operation affecting an estimated 90% of the more than 100 fragments that emerged after 2002. The forgery scandal has created financial incentives to drive a lucrative illegal market, with fragments selling for as much as $125,000 each. Forgers have used ancient leather, possibly from Roman times, and applied artificial aging treatments to create convincing fakes. Artificial intelligence integration represents the next frontier in scroll research. In addition to the Enoch dating system, machine learning applications assist with fragment reconstruction, handwriting analysis, and automatic text recognition. Virtual reality technology is being developed for scroll exploration, while 3D imaging and modeling enhance the fragment assembly process. The Enoch open-source model provides an unprecedented opportunity to re-examine the chronology of hundreds of scrolls without the need to subject each fragment to a destructive radiocarbon dating process. The methods underpinning Enoch can also be applied to other partially dated manuscript collections, such as Greek papyri or medieval European codices, providing a template for empirical paleography. International collaboration is being strengthened through partnerships between Harvard University's Weiss Institute, Tel Aviv University's DNA Research Program, and the European Conservation Laboratory. Digital humanities projects integrate multiple analytical methods to create comprehensive databases that connect textual, material, and historical evidence. Plans to make Enoch publicly available will allow scholars around the world to upload digitized manuscripts and receive probabilistic date estimates, further democratizing and advancing the field. The field of Dead Sea Scroll research is not static. New discoveries continue to be made, indicating the potential for further significant discoveries. Ongoing surveys in the Judean desert continue to uncover new fragments. For example, in 2021, researchers discovered 80 parchment fragments in the Skull Cave, expanding understanding of literary practices during this period. Current research priorities include systematic analysis of the remaining 90% of the scroll fragments, continued fragment assembly using combinatorial techniques, and an enhanced understanding of Jewish diversity during the Second Temple period. Today we saw how modern technology is revolutionizing Dead Sea Scrolls research. From DNA analysis to AI dating, from digital preservation to virtual reality exploration, technology is bringing new life to these 2,000-year-old documents. The findings of the Enoch AI system are particularly shocking. Not only do they challenge our traditional understanding of the Scrolls age, but they have the potential to rewrite the entire timeline of Second Temple history. It is hard to overstate the power of discovering that certain biblical books were copied from the lifetime of their authors. In our final episode, we'll explore the lasting impact of the Dead Sea Scrolls on modern society and how they continue to shape our understanding of religion, history, and human civilization. How can these ancient wisdoms find new meaning in the digital age of the 21st century? Stay tuned for our final episode to witness the exciting conclusion of this fascinating exploration of ancient civilizations.